Hi, my name is Cole Soliday, and this video is about Chapter 2 of the book. So Chapter 2 it discusses about moral development and the theories of it and practices. And the beginning of this chapter discusses the different stages of moral development from early stage to the conventional stage to later thinking stage to moral sophisticated stage. Um, so early stage talks about how we think we get our morals, and we get our morals from people older than us, our elders or our parents. They tell us how to think, what to feel, what's right from wrong, and we do this to gain satisfaction, to gain and to escape from punishment. And then we go to the conventional stage, and this stage is, I like to think, as the book even said, it's kind of middle school to early high school. You have your cliques, your gangs. And this right here, our morals come from those around us, our peers, our friends. They tell us what to think, what's right and wrong. We've all either been or been close to a clique, and you can remember that group kind of saying like, "Hey, this is cool, this isn't cool. Like, don't do that." And then the later stage is, I believe, at the stage of which kind of later high school, but I feel like a lot of college students as well kind of hit this stage. And this stage is about what we think. Finally, it's about what we believe our morals should be and how we should live. Our guidelines in this rule of life, basically. And this this stage is just about free thinking. That's overall what it is, and it should be with you all the way until you pass. And I believe everybody eventually hits a stage to where nobody's finally guiding you into what's morally good or what's morally bad. It's just all based on what your brain thinks, like what your brain thinks it is. And then it discusses the practices, and it gave an example of a journalist, and she worked on a job, and the people said that she couldn't work overtime unless she asked for it because they have to pay her, and she didn't, feel like asking them for money to do her job, and so she felt like morally that wasn't right. And then even after she got done with jobs, when she went to check up on, the story that she did, the people above her told her that she shouldn't do that, that she should worry about the next story, and she felt like that wasn't morally right, that they aren't just stories to her, that like these are people that she cares about. So she was being a nice person, and people above her basically told her not to. And if she would have agreed with them, then that would have been like a conventional sorry that would have been a conventional moral development, I guess. But she thought free will, and she said no, and she kind of fought back, and she made a difference just by believing in what she believes. And I believe that this I believe a lot of people can learn from that. Actually, we should all free think what we want, and we shouldn't care about what other people think about our morals. And I believe that's kind of what this chapter taught me, and I believe I could definitely use that a lot because I'm an extremely nice person. So I let other people's words and what they think kind of affect me more than I probably should, and I should definitely have that later age development. Um, that later age development morals set, and that I should have more free thinking than what I should. Basically, I should believe and stand the ground on the things I do, what I believe in, what I think is right from wrong, what I think is wrong from right. And I usually have a pretty good set guidelines on that. But being, I guess, an extremely nice person can, your morals can be affected a little bit by others. And I believe that's kind of what I learned from this chapter. Overall, this chapter was helpful. It definitely gets you set on the moral development part of this class. And I believe that it said a lot of good things, that we are taught morals from when we're at a young age. I can remember our parents telling me like, hey, do this and don't do that. And I can remember teachers telling me like, hey, do this, make sure you can also do that. This isn't a thing that you don't want to do. And then I remember everybody, the norm is usually having cliques during, middle and high school. And I believe you always did stuff because, you wanted to do it to make your peers laugh or your friends laugh. And I believe that affects your morals too. And then I agreed with the later, like I said, as college students, this is where we change the most, I believe, as people, because we're on our own and we're learning and we're learning and we're getting more education and we're getting a lot of knowledge. Of course, if we put in the effort, that, starts changing what we think and how we think. And I believe that's the best kind, is just free thinking, and we should do what we want to do, and we should do what's right because we think it's right. So overall, chapter 2, great chapter, has a lot of good knowledge, and that's it. Peace.